Hey, so I started seeing a therapist, right? And we spoke about a lot of real stuff that I'm not gonna repeat. You know what I'm saying? Personal things. But we also had a real conversation just about life, right? Growing up, especially as a young black man. My therapist is black guy, and he told me, man. He said, man, a lot of these young black men nowadays, from the 25s to 30 to 40, are depressed, staying at home with their parents, uh, no job, no money, probably got kids from a whole bunch of different women or not. He said that's due to growing up without a father. Not necessarily a father, but growing up without no male role models at all. Like, no role model, no male presence at all. He said that the men of this time, like the grown men of this time, like he said, between 25 and 40, he said, grew up without a male role model or a male presence in the home. The only male presence that most young black men got to see was in the streets, or was rappers or basketball players. But for the most part, there was no grandfather, there was no father, there was no uncles, and barely any big brothers. And he was saying, in my case, he was saying, like, I feel sorry for the big brothers of the family, because you have to be that older male presence that the younger brothers and the younger cousins have to look up to. And you, as the oldest brother or the oldest male cousin, don't have anyone to look up to. So he was saying, like, black people or black men, young men, find themselves in a position where they depressed, don't know why. They feel betrayed by their significant others, girlfriends or whatever. They lash out. They're emotional. They don't know how to, solve conflict without being physical. They don't know how to talk their way out of situations. They don't know how to think their way out of situations. And my therapist told me that was due to being raised by women. He said a lot of black young men are raised by their sisters, their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunts. Like, dog. And when he was telling me this, I'm just sitting there, eyes wide open, ears bleeding, because I'm like, I didn't want to hear it. I hated to hear it, because it's like, damn. I was pretty much raised by all women. He was saying, like, you get beat for nothing. You get basically, as a young black kid, you grow up being disciplined for being a boy, for being a male, for having testosterone. Women don't know how to handle that, so they beat you. And it just goes back and back and back, because if your mother, your grandmother, your sister didn't have a man around, they don't know. So they're going to do the best they could, or they can. And sometimes the best they can do is really the worst possible, but they don't know no better. So these young black men grow up dysfunctional. Like, they find themselves in their mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, stuck, and don't know why, don't know how to get out of it. Depressed, cursing the world out because of that absent male figure, that absent, strong male figure. And a lot of us do grow up like that. So it's easier said than done, but I'm gonna say it. If you one of them that grew up without a father, uncle, big brother, any male presence or male role model in your life that can relate to you and you can relate to them, and that can give you game, information, wisdom, knowledge, experience. If you one of the black men that grew up without raised by all women, your grandmother, your sister, your mother, your aunt, your next door neighbor who's a woman, your teachers who's women, your school bus driver, the city bus driver who's a woman. You know what I mean? I was literally surrounded by women. My the crosswalk lady, the safety guard that watched the kids walk the street, she was a woman. I can't think of where I seen one positive male role model in my life, bro. But anyway, if you like that, if you similar to what I just described, shake that shit off. Shake that shit off. I know it's easier to say than to do, but listen to me, shake that shit off. You broke it with your girl, they got you down in the slumps, and you seem to can't climb out of it. Dog, you gotta shake that shit off, man. You gotta shake that shit off. You lost your job, now you can't find a job that pay you as much as that job paid you, and you don't wanna shake that shit off. You ain't got nobody to turn to for help, because it seems like everybody living their life and you on your own. Shake that shit off, man. Shake that shit off, man. I'm not saying turn to God and run to the church. I'm not saying that. I'm not even gonna get into that. Yeah, think about it. A woman introduced you to church. Anyway, like I said, we're not even gonna get into all that. All I'm gonna say is shake that shit off, yo. You stronger than you think. You raised yourself to be a man. You're a man. Your idea of a man is something you created. That's powerful. That's strong. Shake that shit off, man. Get out that funk. Get up. Go get you some money, man. Get up. You know what I'm saying? Boss up. Go to the gym. Go to the library. Read, man. Shake it off. Get away from sports. Get away from this rap music. Man, get away from the gambling. Get away from all of this stuff that they feeding us. Gambling, sex pills, porno, fucking sports. Get away from it. Look within. Find your peace and find your serenity and find your hope and find your help within. Rebuild yourself, black man. Tear yourself down. Rebuild yourself. Shake it off. I recommend therapy for everybody, especially black men. Especially black men.